for business now. Charles is here. He's starting with the French President Emmanuel Macron calling on the EU to supercharge its borrowing capacity.
That's right, Stuart. President Macron made the call in an interview he gave to a number of leading European newspapers this Tuesday, pointing to the pressing need for the European Union to massively invest in the green transition, artificial intelligence, and quantum computing. He said it's time to launch a means of EU joint borrowing for investments in the future, Eurobonds for the future, adding later that this would be, quote, a unique opportunity that would also allow the EU to take on the hegemony of the US dollar. When asked how much financing was needed, he set the number at 1.2 trillion euro, and he also pointed to the fact that the EU's 30 trillion euros in savings could be mobilized, saying that 300 billion euros of which finance US companies every year. Macron is due to meet with his EU counterparts in Brussels in 2 days' time to discuss the bloc's competitiveness versus the United States and China.
European markets now just opening, of course.
Mixed open this Tuesday on the major European bourses. A number of key earnings in the spotlight. French luxury group Kering and its new CEO, Luca de Meo, announced a 94% plunge in net profit last year, although Kering stocks are rising this morning, and you see the CAC 40 up 0.2% higher. Oil giant BP also posting an 86% slide in annual net profit last year amid lower crude prices. You can see the FTSE slightly below the flat line there. In Asia, the major bourses trading higher. The Nikkei in Japan closing at another record high after Prime Minister Sanae Takaichi's landslide victory in the lower house election over the weekend. You can see up over 2.28% higher.
Now to top US social media companies. They're on trial, aren't they?
Meta, the parent company of Facebook and Instagram, and Alphabet's YouTube are defending themselves in a landmark civil suit that accuses them of purposely designing their products to cause addiction in children. The Los Angeles trial got underway Monday. It's just one of several court cases facing social media firms as countries around the world increasingly move to ban the platforms for minors over their harmful effects on mental health, with experts likening the trials to those that curbed the power of the tobacco industry in the 1990s. Brian Quinn has a story.
In Los Angeles Monday, as lawyers for YouTube and Meta arrived to defend their clients from a landmark civil suit, parents who blame social media for the deaths of their children gathered outside the courthouse in solidarity with the plaintiff.
If we can start proving that social media companies are responsible for their faulty product and their addictive algorithms, then we can start forcing social media companies to change.
That plaintiff, identified by her initials KGM, is now 20 years old. She was just a young child when she began using Instagram and YouTube. She says her addiction to the platforms exacerbated depression and suicidal thoughts. Her lead attorney making his case with the classic children's ABC building blocks as he accused the defendants of purposely addicting the brains of children with features like infinite scrolling, autoplay videos, and algorithmic recommendations.
They didn't just build apps, they built traps. They didn't want users, they wanted addicts.
Meta and YouTube's lawyers say KGM's mental health problems were due to factors beyond social media. Snapchat and TikTok were also named in the suit but settled out of court before the trial began. The Los Angeles lawsuit is just one of several court cases facing top US social media firms this year. Meta was in the dock once again Monday in New Mexico. Prosecutors there accuse Facebook and Instagram of failing to shield children on the platforms from sexual exploitation. U.S. federal law protects social media firms from liability for content posted by third-party users, but the very design of the apps is leading to a global wave of efforts to ban them for children. Australia has already done so. France, Spain, Greece, and India are now weighing their own similar moves.
And Charlotte's going to finish in the US. This is the retailer Target announcing more job cuts.
The chain store, known for its affordable clothes, cheap groceries, and other homewares, said it would cut roughly 500 jobs across its regional offices and distribution sites in the U.S. This follows a previous culling of about 1,800 corporate jobs back in October. That was worth about 8% of Target's global workforce. Target looking to reinvest in its stores and try and win back customers that have been more budget conscious recently and who've put the brakes on buying non-essentials like clothing and electronics, which make up for about half of the company's sales over the past 4 years or so. As you can see there, the company's net sales have stagnated just over that, or around that $100 billion mark.
Charles, thanks very much. You're Pellegrin with the business news on France 24. Dip